Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody this fine Tuesday? Today is a great day, or at least that's how I'm feeling. Hi, April. So I'm glad to see people are here. So I named the video that today because, 420 is the unofficial, holiday for people who love cannabis. And so I was looking through my news stories this morning, and one of the things that I noticed was that Willie Nelson petitioned the president to make 420 a actual legal holiday, and I thought that was hilarious. And it was like, who doesn't have respect for Mr. Nelson? You know what I mean? Like, Cameron and I went on our walk this morning, and we were talking about it. I was like, he is old school, but he was cool, and he still is. You know what I mean? Like, I've always liked Willie Nelson. Hi, LJ. So I'm glad y'all could make it to another Tuesday live. If you're not familiar with what we do, it's kind of just chit chat. If you have questions, I try to answer them. Where are you going, Stevie? Stevie's here, and now she's wandering, so that makes me worry. But yeah, hopefully everybody can hear it and everything. Well, I try to test everything, but sometimes that's how it goes. So how's everybody today? Everybody good? One thing was we did get, so yesterday Jeremy had his second vaccination. So he's at home today. He's not feeling great. He's not feeling the worst, but he's not feeling great. He had the Moderna one. So now that makes me feel a little bit better about things. But so he was watching like the Apple stuff. I don't know if y'all follow, like, because he's all into technology. So he follows all that stuff, and they're coming out with a new iPhone, or at least a new iPhone color. Naughty was all excited because there's a purple one. They're coming out with a new Apple TV, which is nice because that's what we use at home to stream everything because we don't keep cable. And then they're coming out with IMAX in colors, which I am excited for. I'm not sure, April. I'm not sure if it's showing up, like if YouTube sent out the notification for everything, but it's okay. If they did, they did. If they didn't, they didn't. We'll keep it small. I know sometimes, like, I don't even know if I got, I just got the notification that I'm live. So, and I know today's a big deal for a lot of people, and I'm sure that there's a lot of things going on since there was a verdict in the Derek Chauvin over the George Floyd stuff today. Let's see. You have a question about sublimation printer. There are two different types of ink: easy subli or regular dye sublimation. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not sure which package to get. Okay, so easy subli is just as far as I know, it is just Caesar branded Sawgrass inks. The ones that I use for my Sawgrass are just the regular Sublimation. So they are great, and that's all you need. Like, I don't see it, like, I wouldn't say to pay more to get the Sawgrass branded ink because you really don't need it. You see what I'm saying? Hi, Christy. I'm glad you're here. You're in Ontario and home again. Ontario. I know I have a couple of friends that live in Canada, and y'all are going through some major lockdowns and stuff right now, correct? I know it's kind of, it's like America's in a different position because, a lot of people are finally able to get vaccinated. There's a lot of people who are fully vaccinated. And I know that in other countries, I know in Canada especially, that it's been hard to get like access to the vaccines. Hi, Arlene. I'm glad you're here. You're welcome, LJ. But yeah, I mean, like, that's part of this. This is a great way to sit, chit chat, and answer any questions anybody has. Thank you, Christy. I was playing with the new Melt collection. Come here, baby. Come here. Ugh. Oh, why do you feel so fat? Did you just go drink a bunch of water? Say hi. This is This is Stevie. If you haven't seen her, this is my old dachshund. She comes to work all the time. She's she's a good girl. She is. And sure, her bed is right here next to my desk. And it's funny because if she sees us putting on shoes in the morning, she starts crying because she wants to come to work. She loves to go. You're a mama's girl. I can hear your tummy. You drank too much water, didn't you, honey? Didn't you? But she is just the best. So, anyways, my husband bought me the new Melt Mary Jane collection because I love Melt. And so I have a video up on that on my second channel, which is all over this look, but it is beautiful. And you know, I love my glitters. So if y'all are interested, it is linked in the description box. But so LJ, you had fevers 2 days after the second Moderna shot. It was so worth it. Yeah, I completely get it. Like, so far, everyone in my family are fully vaccinated. My father-in-law still has to get his second shot, which is on the 28th, and Cameron's not old enough, but everyone else that is like lives with me, or like my in-laws and my husband's grandfather that lives next door, are all close to being fully vaccinated. Yes, Leisha, I have used the Easy Subli inks, the Subli inks, for forever. They've been Sawgrass. Like, whenever I got into dye sublimation the first time, it was probably about 15 years ago, and Sawgrass made inks back then. So they've been around for a while. They're tried and true. I really like it. Yes, Christy, she loves to come with mommy to work. LJ, yes, I understand that I'm sure you probably suffer from some type of pre-existing condition. I have an autoimmune disease. So I trust me, I understand. The fear from the Rona is definitely real. At least it is for me. And we still deal with a lot of things here, like, part of the thing is we still have a mask mandate in the store until everybody can be fully vaccinated in our family. We feel comfortable with it, even though Texas has lifted it. And people don't like to follow that, and then like to be really rude about it. And like, we literally have a sign that says why we are still enacting them. Like, we have family members with immunology problems, and you know, that's kind of where we're at. Okay, so why are you burning shirts when you're doing sublimation? There's can be a lot of different things. It depends on the shirt you're using, the press, time, temperature, those types of things. But typically, a lot of it's going to depend on temperature and time and what type of shirt you're using. Are you using a full 100% polyester shirt? Because if not, you have to practice with those things, because every shirt manufacturer and colors will react differently. So say you did a bleach shirt. So say you did like a tri-blend shirt and you bleached it. So you're like, okay, I'm going to put a sublimation print on the white spot. Well, the ink, the dye that is in the rest of that shirt, so say maybe it's a green, it may be different than on a different color, if that makes sense. So like a red shirt may be able to take more heat, or vice versa. But again, it all depends on brand of the shirt, and it also depends on the fabric content of it. Yeah, LJ, it is what it is. We deal with it on a daily basis. It's just, you know, I don't understand it. I try to be nice about it and not get too angry about it, because, you know, if you don't want to wear a mask, that's up to you. But with, you know, me being a business owner, it is my choice to be able to require it. And if I require it and you don't want to shop with me, then don't shop. There's no reason to call names. You know, I'm worried about long-term side effects that hasn't been around long enough for us to know what the long-term side effects, if you catch it, are. And we would much rather not get it. So, as I said, April, hopefully that does help you. Because, you know, as I said, there's so many different factors. And then on top of it, there's like a bajillion different brands of shirts and fabric contents and things like that. And one thing I don't think people realize either is that sometimes like shirts, when they're dyed in different locations. So sometimes they will have like a lot that is dyed in India and one that's dyed in like Bangladesh. Well, they might look like the same color dye on the shirt, but then when you go to put vinyl on it, when you go to put sublimation on it, when you go to put screen print ink on it, it may react differently because what the dyes are made out of is completely different. And I've had issues with that too in the past because, you know, and that's the one thing about it is like I always try to tell people because they're like, hey, do you have an exact for this? Well, a lot of times it's trial and error because, and even if you've used a product a million times before, guess what? You can have a faulty product that comes to you or like things can change. So it's always good to practice. And like if we have screen print jobs or direct to garment jobs, dye sublimation jobs, we typically in any type of job, we will order at least one extra shirt to practice on to kind of make sure everything's set up correctly before we jump in and do a bunch of stuff, if that makes sense. Because to me, it's better to waste a few dollars and test than to go in and jump out and try to do a bunch and then like everything mess up, because I've had that happen before. I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only one. And especially with everything that's going on, you know, shipping is difficult, you know, getting good shirts right now. A lot of times, you know, a lot of things are out of stock. They're harder to get a hold of. So, you know, that's what we try to do. And hopefully that's helpful to y'all because, I mean, and that's part of it is practice makes perfect. Canvas typically, LJ, doesn't get burnt, but it can. Test on it. You know what I'm saying? That's part of it. Like I've always said before, stretch canvas. Yeah, typically stretch canvas doesn't get burned. I haven't had an issue with it in the past. But again, if it's got a chemical on it, and that's part of what people forget is like you can go to the store and like say you buy a pack of canvases and it's not wrapped in plastic or anything like that. Well, then you can get chemicals on it. You can get oils on it from your hands that may make things react differently. So I always recommend practice. And LJ, some of the things I like to do if I'm doing a stretch canvas is I will take and do it from the backside. It's a lot easier to heat from the backside than it is from the front, because if you try to heat a stretch canvas too much, like I would recommend like using like an easy press or something like that that can get in there, because with that edge of wood, if not, you need something that fits in the middle of that canvas so you don't sink your canvas down into. Like I'll use books or something along those lines to keep it from, because if you sink your canvas, then it doesn't look as good, if that makes sense. So hopefully, yeah, it goes well for you, LJ. But yeah, that's how I look at it is, you know, practice makes perfect. I try to give clear and concise instructions, but I always like to make sure that people realize that, you know, even if you have concise instruction, things can change. But yeah, let's see. Practice, yes, Christy, practice makes perfect, and you get aggravated. I get aggravated anytime I mess anything up. I don't know how y'all are, but like it really starts to perturb me like no end. Oh, see, yeah, that's good, LJ. And that a lot of times that's what helps. Go low and slow and go from the backside. Again, it makes it a whole lot easier. That's what I have found doing stretch canvas. Hi, Nicole. Or Noah. I have no idea. I probably just butchered that, and I'm sorry. I am terrible with pronunciation. Like absolutely atrocious. And I'm completely and utterly honest about it. My friend Ruby, you know, I've been practicing on trying to say her name because she's Punjabi. And so you say Rupinder instead of Rupinder. You see what I'm saying? Like I always want to make sure I try to pronounce things correctly, but a lot of times I do not. Hi, Latrina. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad people are able to make it. But yeah, I am in a good mood, you know. Good things happen today. I like that. I like good things. Hopefully everybody else likes good things happening. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like, yes, it is a very lovely name. That's, and the part of the thing is if you don't know where a name's from, that's where I struggle, because like we have a lot of weird names around here because of Cajun ancestry, which is typically a mixture of French and Native American. So like the way people pronounce names and things like that here is not how people pronounce it everywhere else. So it's like with my last name, it's Gotcher, Gotcher. I know if you know me because you'll pronounce my last name correctly, or try to. But like we get Gotcher and Goche and things like that because you're used to like the Cajun pronunciation. Like bro is Breaux. That's a typical popular Cajun last name. Or Hebert, which is Hebert, which you would not think would be pronounced at all the way it's spelled. And like, I know for Texas and Louisiana, we have some really strange names for towns like Natchitoches and Nacogdoches, you know, things like that. Krista, you're a butcher, so you do less. Yeah. See, that's part of the thing too. It's like, and there are so many beautiful kind of cultures around the world and so many beautiful ways to say things. And if you're not exposed to it, you don't know. And, you know, I feel like it's because I live in a small town. I've lived here most of my life. So yeah. Yes, LJ, I am been doing better. Been trying to do my best at controlling like my fibro and stuff with like a homeopathic approach. I have done several things like at home to make sure we get better sleep. At the beginning of this year, I bought a new mattress, a purple mattress, and that thing is lovely. Then I got my friend Ruby told me about some pillows on Amazon. They're super firm, but they're really cool because they're like, have like a divot where your head goes and then it has like a slope for your neck and it doesn't squish too much. But the one thing I like is because of that hole, like your ear goes into it so you don't like bend your ear. And then I ordered a weighted blanket for us to sleep with. And like I sleep so good now, it's not even funny. So that helps. And you know, we've been trying to like get back on track with eating healthier and exercising. You know, as I said, trying to do things as much as possible to get my health back under control because, you know I'm like a lot of other people in the world right now who everything that's happened in the past year and a half has been crazy. And I am a stress eater, so that did not do nice things for my body. So now I want to be kind to my body so it lasts me a long time. So that's what we're trying to do. She is knocked out. She's sleeping, tongue out. That's how she sleeps. It's the cutest thing ever. But yeah, she's rotten. Yeah, see, LJ, sleep is important and buying a new mattress is overwhelming. And the last one we had bought it from Ashley and we really liked it. We've tried it out in store. But you know, with everything going on, being able to go and try anything in store is almost impossible. Well, the purple mattress, we bought the hybrid one. So it's still got springs in it. Our last bed was just memory foam, which was nice, but it sometimes, like, I don't know. Sometimes it slept too hot. So doing some research, we bought the purple hybrid with the 3-inch of the grid. So it's got the memory foam stuff with it. So it's really nice. And it's super comfortable, but they have return policies on it. So if you don't like it, you can send it back, which was important because I couldn't test it beforehand. And like my mother-in-law and father-in-law, they have a Tempur-Pedic. My sister-in-law has a Tempur-Pedic. They're nice, but they're expensive. And like, I don't mind spending money on a mattress. I mean, we spent good money on it, but some of the prices for them, it's like, okay, let's try this one first and to see how that works for us. And then go to, you know what I mean? But yeah. Yeah, LJ, ask her how she likes it because as I said, we have loved ours. And for me, I can sleep anywhere. When I get tired, I get tired. And our other mattress was fine for me. My husband was complaining about it more. He needed something a little bit firmer for his back. And I mean, it was at that point, it was 10 years old. And that's part of it is like, I think most mattresses, like they have like a 10-year warranty. And if you sleep, because you like, I remember back when, or at least because we didn't have a lot of money for mattresses and stuff like that. So we had old ones, so you could flip them. You know what I mean? So you can't do that with a lot of these new mattresses, or if they're pillow top, you can turn them. So even after over time, you know, you kind of, if you stay in the same position, you build a divot. I'm a mover when I sleep, so there wasn't a divot on my side. Now on his, there's a divot. Yes, our purple mattress, LJ, does sleep cool. And one of the things we bought, the weighted blanket that I decided to go with is Hush brand. And the reason why I did is it wasn't the cheapest thing, but I used a code, so I was able to save some money off of it. But the one that I bought, it's so the weighted part is in like a duvet cover. And we've had it now since right after Christmas, LJ. So we bought the Hush brand weighted blanket, and the one we got came with 2 separate duvets. One that's made for like to help keep you cool, because here in Texas it is hot. Like it is in the 80s already here today where we live. You know, we had a couple of days last week because we did have a cold front come through. So we got down to 50s when we were in sweats and jackets again. But I mean, yeah, so far we've had it a few months. We enjoy it. Memory foam does sleep hot, Mary Jane. But if you live in a cold area, that's nice. And before I was chunky, you know, that's the best way for me to put it, I was always cold. Now, not so much. You know, I think that's true though for a lot of people. A lot of people. But yeah. Anyways, but those are kind of where we're at. I mean, you know, I try to make sure, like, especially for my husband, to make sure he is able to get a good night's sleep. I mean, I do too, but you know, he has more trouble with falling asleep and things like that than I do. But I mean, mine's probably because I take Benadryl every night to go to sleep too. I know a lot of people who are like, I can't take Benadryl. I can't function if I take Benadryl. And I'm like, I take Benadryl every night and I have no issue. I wake up, like, if I go to bed at like 2 o'clock in the morning, I take Benadryl. I will still wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, wide-eyed and bushy-tailed, because that is just my personality. Especially when I'm feeling good. I mean, and I don't feel good every day. I mean, there's still a lot of days that I don't feel amazing. So in upstate New York, summer gets warm, but you sleep warm anyway. Yeah, see, for me, like, There's very few times like where we live that our air conditioners are off. Oh yeah, Mary Jane, it works. And that's the thing about it is everybody has different preferences when it comes to mattresses and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, and to me, part of it is you can't decide if it's a good mattress for you until you actually slept on it. Like, I remember like when we were searching, when we bought our Ashley one, and it was all memory foam, and we went to places and laid on beds and all this other kind of stuff. And what feels comfortable, you know, now may not feel comfortable when it's time to go to bed, or it may not feel comfortable in a week. So getting something that you can return if there is issues, to me, is always, always important. Even though I never return anything. I should probably do that, but I can't be the only person who's like this. Now, y'all let me know and tell me what you think. But for me personally, like if I buy something and it doesn't work for me, I don't bring it back. I typically will hold on to it till I can find someone who I think will love it and then pass it on to them. But I don't bring anything back. I don't know. I know that's like, I don't know. I feel weird going and bringing things back to the store. I don't know how everybody else is, but for me, it's like that. But yeah, so I guess we're going to cut this off about 30 minutes today. Again, we do these every Tuesday, and I didn't put it on Facebook today. I don't know why. I guess I forgot to click the little link thing for when I was setting up the video. StreamYard is amazing, but sometimes I still mess stuff up. But yeah, as I said, hopefully everybody has a wonderful day, wonderful evening. It is almost closing time for the shop. We close at 6, so only have like 30 minutes left, which is lovely. Got to go home and cook dinner and get everything ready. We have started. Yes, our new modem and everything are working great. So we had replaced the router last week, and Spectrum came out on Saturday and changed out the modem. So now we've got amazingly fast internet. Because our Spectrum built, because Time Warner was who we used to use, but they bought out, Spectrum bought out Time Warner. Like, it's changed. I'm sure y'all deal with it too. It has changed a bunch of names over the years. So we, I called to complain because they raised the bill again. And I was like, hey, why is this doing that? And they were like, hey, well, we can do this and lower your bill and give you faster internet. I was like, okay, yay. So that's what I did. Oh, you're welcome, LJ. I always try to answer as many questions as possible. I love doing these. You know, I don't care who comes and who watches or anything like that. To me, this is the fun of doing YouTube, because one, I get to communicate with y'all, a lot of it one-on-one, where we can actually interact, talk back and forth, that type of thing. And as well as, like, you get to know me. You get to see who I am, what I like, what I don't like, how I think, you know, which some people don't care. They're just here for the tutorials. I get that. Some people do. So I think that's always fun. But yeah, so now our internet, I think, is set up at 600 megabytes, up to 600 megabytes a second here. So it's super fast. But a lot of our stuff is done, like, everything kind of like has to communicate through the internet with like the server and stuff like that. Like, we have a server set up here, and then people at the production side can download the files off the server. So things have to work well to make sure that things go smoothly. So like, to me, and uploading videos and being able to do lives while we were trying to get all this stuff situated with figuring out what was going wrong with the internet, not doing lives. I miss doing lives. I think that lives are fun. But yeah, I guess I'm going to end it there. Remember, we will do another new live on Tuesday, which will be April 27th. Is that correct? Yes, April 27th, we will do another live, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I think that is 3 p.m. right? I think that's 3 p.m. Pacific time and 6 p.m. Eastern time. But yeah, I guess that's it. We shall see y'all later. Bye.